When local growers put great food on Tennessee tables, that's living green. Tonight on Live Green Tennessee, we take a ride on a rail car on the historic Shortline Railroad system. We then check out Knoxville's playground for outdoor enthusiasts called Urban Wilderness. And finally, we meet a precocious young man who is the CEO of his own glass recycling company. All this and more coming up next on Live Green Tennessee.
This program is brought to you in part by...
Behind every Pick Tennessee Products logo is a Tennessee farmer who brings you fresh, local food grown with the kind of pride that gets handed down through generations. From now through fall, you can find Tennessee fruits and vegetables on farms and at farmers markets near you. Find your Tennessee farmers at picktnproducts.org.
What makes our state unique? Find out on the new Tennessee Channel, a statewide initiative by your public television stations. Each program is created in Tennessee, about Tennessee, and broadcast in Tennessee.
The Tennessee Channel, Saturdays 6 to 10 p.m. Eastern and Sundays 2 to 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on your public television station.
Funding for this program is provided in part by the United States Department of Agriculture, providing leadership on food, agriculture, natural resources, and related issues based on sound public policy and efficient management.
Hello, I'm Melinda Kiefer, and I'm proud to bring you stories from across our great state on Live Green Tennessee. Shortline railroads are used throughout Tennessee to transport goods and freight, especially in the agriculture world. This method is more eco-friendly and economically sound as fewer trucks are needed on the road to transport materials.
We feel that the Shortline Railroads of Tennessee are really the lifeline to some of the rural and underserved areas. Agricultural products, forestry products, and a lot of industrial products that are produced and processed in the rural areas need a cheap transportation source. And we have found over the years that Shortline Rail truly gives them a great opportunity. Trucking is very important to Tennessee and to the agricultural complex, but we like rail also as another alternative, and it keeps everybody honest.
Well, typically railroads compared to roads, we can move freight much more efficiently. The Class 1s have it nailed down to, I think, 452 gallons or so. Or 452 miles or so per gallon per ton of freight. So it's very efficient. Ironically, we're the oldest green industry in the country, I would say.
And they can ship it much cheaper by rail. And you know, one rail car equals 4 trailer trucks that are on the road, and the transportation costs are much more efficient. And 1 out of every 3 acres of soybeans grown in Tennessee goes out by ocean-going carrier. And the most efficient way to get soybeans and grain in general out is by rail, especially in West Tennessee and to some extent in Middle and East Tennessee. So again, it goes back to basic economics of transportation, getting the fertilizer cheaper to the farm and getting the grain product efficiently back to the ports where they can be shipped worldwide.
Well, this company couldn't function without it because we do have to have it to ship the calcium silicate down to our Florida plant. Without it, we couldn't be in business. So it's something that we hope will be here forever because we have to have it to keep going.
Railroads are probably the most capital-intensive mode of transportation to the individual companies. We're the only mode of transportation that has complete responsibility for maintaining our own right-of-way. Now, fortunately enough, the state of Tennessee, we have a Shortline rehab program where there is a diesel fuel tax on fuel that goes into locomotives that is turned around and put into this rehab program. Currently, that program is based strictly on the needs of each individual Shortline railroad in Tennessee. It's very equitable and fair. Without that rehab program, there would be definitely parts of our line that we would take a strong look at abandoning.
Department of Agriculture has always been interested in ag transportation because we have to get our goods and our product moved. Therefore, we're involved in the Ag Transportation Coalition, and rail is a critical component of that.
We call it Tennessee Brown Rock Phosphorus. It is an organic fertilizer. It's actually the material left over when they took all the phosphate out of it. It is just all natural minerals in it. There's no chemicals added to it. It's great for just about any crop. It's certified organic because it is what the soil needs, no added chemicals to it. We sell it all over the country. We use it for just about any crop that's out there. And we are certified through the government listing, and I highly recommend it because it saves all of our vegetables and stuff for the chemicals that's damaging our bodies. It just makes the soil better, the crops to grow better, they resist the insects and the diseases better. It is just something that makes everything we eat a lot safer product. For people with allergies and everything, it makes a safer product in the ground for us to enjoy the fruits of it. I highly recommend it, even though I sell it because I use it in my own gardens. I practice organic because my husband has had cancer. I try to eat healthy. I practice everything that benefits us and our bodies. And Tennessee Brown Rock does it.
And Shortline Rail and rail in general just gives us opportunity to reach the masses. And we're truly looking at the worldwide economy now, not just Tennessee, not just eastern part of the United States, but we're working and looking globally now for Tennessee in the agricultural and also manufacturing processes.
And it's whatever the customer wants or the company wants. If they want to ship it out by truck, they send a truck. If they prefer it to come by rail cars, we will ship to them. And we can ship rail cars to different parts of the countries with the material.
And in my work with business development in agriculture, I just really have seen the need for this opportunity for people. And a lot of projects that we work with are always interested in rail and how close is rail and do we have access to rail. So that it's a need driven by customer demand.
We actually, we've got 120 miles total main line. We connect with CSX at Natco, Tennessee, that's N-A-T-C-O. We run, that's just north of Columbia, Tennessee. We run from Columbia down to Pulaski, Tennessee, and from Columbia down to Florence, Alabama. We also serve as a stevedore at the Port of Florence, where we have the capacity to unload barges, rail cars or trucks, and reload to any of the three modes of transportation.
It's a transportation network that keeps Tennessee goods and Tennessee jobs competitive worldwide.
Only 2 miles from downtown, Knoxville's 1,000-acre urban wilderness presents a unique playground for hikers, mountain bikers, and trail runners. The park was formed out of a partnership with city and county agencies and local recreation and nature organizations. With over 40 miles of recreational trails, 4 Civil War sites, and diverse ecological features and recreational amenities, Knoxville is redefining itself as an outdoor destination.
Great trails build great communities, and great communities build great trails. There are a lot of cities in the country that are embracing recreation. What we have is unique, and it is that urban wilderness combination. It's an amazing mountain biking trail that we are hearing is some of the best in the region. And the opportunity to do that within a city, so you can ride trails for 3 or 4 hours and then come downtown and have dinner in a restaurant 10 minutes away.
It's great for cycling, but you know, during the winter months like we are in now, you'll see a lot of trail runners out on the trail and hikers.
It has multiple use. One is it's recreational use, so hiking, biking, there's even some paddling over there at Iams Nature Center.
We really geared the project to make it a true mixed-use project. We don't want to exclude any sort of user group in the urban wilderness.
It connects neighborhoods, which is important. It protects green space, which is important. And it preserves some historic sites, the Civil War forts and sites. So it has a preservation, a conservation, a recreation, and then a neighborhood aspect to it all.
It's actually a system of trails, and there's one main loop that we've got routed out called the South Loop. And if you stay on the South Loop, it's about an 11.5-mile loop, but you pass through various parks and other open spaces to where you can mix and match those trails up to have more than an 11.5-mile loop. All told, there's about 35 miles of mixed-use trails within the system.
It's really the concept of about 1,000 acres, right, what we say in the heart of our downtown, that connects parks, historic sites, greenways, neighborhoods through a system of trails, and really creates about 1,000 acres of urban wilderness.
The partnerships for this South Loop Trail have been just unbelievable. We have, of course, the city and county, the local governments. We have Legacy Parks Foundation, which is a nonprofit that has been tremendous in identifying, raising those private dollars to purchase land, which will then be turned over to the city and county in the form of parks. And also what makes this particularly special for these biking trails is that we have literally hundreds and hundreds of hours of blood, sweat, and tears from our mountain bikers who have spent hours out there basically building these trails. The same people who will be riding on them have been building them.
The Mountain Bike Club built a lot of the new trail, or most of the new trail. There was a lot of existing trail that had just been around for years in various parks. It was a great accomplishment to get that completed. We had a lot of partners on the project, working with the Legacy Parks Foundation and the Track Club and some private donors. It was just a real showcase on how a lot of different partners got together and got a really neat project completed. We have a wonderful partnership with the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency. Part of the trail goes through their property. There's about 600 acres of wildlife management area that has some special restrictions in there for hunt seasons and whatnot. And most of those trails were already there. We have done a couple reroutes to make those trails a little more sustainable from an environmental standpoint. And they've been a great partner in working with access to their property.
We have not gotten any resistance to this whole concept. People like the idea, even if they don't use the trail. They like that in their neighborhood. They like to have that in their city. For neighbors and people looking for places to live, parks increase property value. People want to live near parks and trails, and we know that. There's 10 years of study that tell us that.
Folks that come in from out of town, they want to use the trails, and then they want to come downtown at night. They want to eat dinner. They want to go to a movie. They want to patronize businesses downtown. You know, you can take a trip out west and be in a great trail system, no doubt. But more often than not, you're in a trail system with no other amenities but a gas station or a diner. You know, we've got this trail system in the heart of an urban area to where you can recreate during the day and you can play downtown at night. We're 2.5 miles to a trailhead, which is a brisk walk but a super easy bike ride and a pretty easy run. And, you know, Iams Nature Center is about 3 miles down the road. So in our region, in this type of metropolitan area, we're leading the charge. Since the trail opened in August, we've got almost $4 million in private property, residential property transfers associated with the urban wilderness. You know, if I live downtown, do I have access to recreation that I don't have to drive to? And with this trail system, that is the fact. Not only to the trails, but to the water. I would eat a quick lunch and run across the Gay Street Bridge right into Fort Dickerson Park, run around the quarry, and run back to work just on your lunch break.
We are the largest metropolitan area at the base of the most visited national park. So we know people come to East Tennessee, but to provide them the ease of traveling here and staying in Knoxville. And that's really what's unique about what we have here in Knoxville. The ability to be, truly you could be in the woods all day long and feel like you're in the middle of the Smokies or Big South Fork, drive 10 minutes and be in the heart of a city in an urban area and hear a concert, go to a symphony, go to a movie. So that combination is really unique. Or not drive, bike all of that from downtown into the wilderness and back.
Altogether, it adds up to a lot of opportunities for people who live here and the potential to build our city as an outdoor recreation destination, which means tourism dollars.
For the future of South Knoxville, it brands us. It gives us a lot of people reasons to be in South Knoxville. It's something that will never go away. It's going to be a real stimulus for economic development and for just a quality of life issue. So again, this is just the first step of a long process that's going to really be outstanding, not only for the city of Knoxville, South Knoxville, but for this whole region.
You will see neighborhoods reinvigorated. It'll become the place that people want to live. I do think that we'll see it affect Chapman Highway right across Henley Street Bridge, and that becomes sort of the extension. And they have already called themselves the Urban Wilderness Trade District, so those businesses have already embraced that. It really creates a destination, and number one, it creates a tourism destination. People travel to areas like this. People want authentic experiences. They want the convenience. What will follow in South Knoxville are the cafes and the shops and places and restaurants and brew pubs, those kind of things that tend to grow up around places where people are recreating. I mean, we see it all over the country.
We have an amazing community of outdoor enthusiasts.
We like our green space, we like our outdoors, we like our land.
We have featured a lot of green advocates on Live Green Tennessee, but rarely do they come in the form of a 7-year-old boy. When Gunnar Sweeney's father, Sean, taught him about recycling, he never dreamed that his son would take the concept and become the CEO of his own glass recycling company. Not only has Gunnar grown his company to over 100 customers, but he also teaches us that you're never too young to start taking care of our beautiful state and living a greener lifestyle.
I like recycling because it keeps the earth healthy and keeps the environment healthy.
He's very inquisitive, very curious kid, and he got into recycling.
I want to keep recycling forever.
I mean, if I threw something away in the wrong spot, he was digging it out of the trash and bringing it back to the recycling bin.
Recycling makes me feel really good.
You know, everything is about being green, trying to save water and save electricity, and throwing things away is just, he goes completely against it.
I didn't exactly learn about it. I just saw people recycling and I wanted to do it too.
He was kind of the inspiration to the idea.
So my dad noticed I really liked recycling and he called me and told me one morning, do you want to start a recycling business? And I said yes.
I asked him if he thought it'd be fun to go hang out for an extra hour a month and, you know, take the recycling, everybody's recycling to the recycling center for him. And he was all about it. We realized that Metro doesn't pick up glass inside the city of Nashville, so that was really fun. I got to take kind of some of my learning from getting my MBA at Belmont and transition that into our house and applying it to Gunnar on a simple level.
We went out a couple weeks later and got 6 people to sign up.
We got them to sign up for $5 a month.
The 6 customers we got, they talked to their neighbors.
And we just took their glass with ours when we went to the recycling center.
The other neighbors, they just kept on talking and we got so many.
Before I knew it, we had 25 people that had signed up.
I mostly did the empty bins. My dad did the full. I could tell they're heavy. He was shaking.
And we couldn't handle the glass in the back of our SUV anymore, so Gunnar and I went out and got a trailer.
And we got a really small trailer.
He said, "Now let's get a big trailer."
And I thought we were going to get a bigger one.
About 2 months later, we were trading in the small trailer for a big trailer.
Because we got too many customers.
And at that point, you know, it just kind of continued to grow from there, and we're up to a little over 500 customers now, and we've got a couple employees.
And we started hiring people to help us, and so we don't have to do all the routes 6 hours a day. One of our employees is named Roderick, and he has a full-time job.
Well, I've been with Gunner's Glass Recycling now for almost a year, and we've become good friends. You know, I look at them as my surrogate family, and it's just really great to have them in my life and be a part of this recycling family, and continue to go out and help the community and stay bonded and just keep moving along and just keep growing to see what we can all do.
Turn left on Galt Street.
When the business started, the original intent was to kind of fill in Metro's void with glass recycling, and I knew if we kept the price low enough, we could get enough mass so that it made financial sense for us to go around.
We drive to the people's houses. Their bin's full. I take an empty bin, and my dad and our employees take the full bin, put it on the trailer while somebody stored it, and I take the empty bin and put the lid back on. There we go. After we picked up all of the whole route, we go to the recycling center and put the glass in the right hole. The glass is separated by color, clear, green, and brown, and then we come home and wash out the bins. They take it to the place where they crush it, melt it, then they make it into new bottles. Then they put drinks in it.
It's really nice, to be able to get out, meet people, and converse with them, about the recycling and just,
Bye.
It just seems like it's something that, almost in general just makes people smile. And, they're just excited, they're like, that's so good, yeah, and they're really excited.
I think one of the things that has been fun to watch is the interaction with our customers. Gunner has claimed since day one that his favorite thing about the business is his customers. And so, I say, hey buddy, so-and-so is your favorite customer, right? And he says, nope, I like them all.
A lot of people have actually read about Gunner in the paper or like in the Nashville scene.
Somebody found out about it at the Tennessean and wrote an article on him. And then Metro actually heard about it at the Beautification Commission, and they invited him in to speak at their board meeting. So he got to go in there. It was January of 2009. It was just a fun time to hang out with Gunner, and it's been kind of fun to watch him grow. And then for me, it's been fun to just know more people in our neighborhood and get more involved in doing a good thing for the neighborhood. And Gunner and I have transitioned out of kind of doing the operations to letting our employees do the operations. And Gunner went from being on the job to then just doing the new customers and going out and meeting people. But now he kind of has just transitioned into another role of just kind of doing the community events. We know more people in our neighborhood now than we used to, and we're really excited to kind of be where we are now, and I couldn't have imagined it a year and a half ago.
One day, Gunner will be completely at the helm of all this, and maybe Gunner's Glass Recycling will take over the whole country for all we know, but
I don't really have something I don't like about owning a business. Like it all.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Live Green Tennessee, where we take you all across the state into the farms and businesses of those who are making the move to eating fresh, living sustainably, and helping us all be more organic in our thinking and the way we live our lives as Tennesseans. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Live Green Tennessee.
If you would like more information about Live Green Tennessee, please visit our website at livegreentv.org, where you can find everything from healthy recipes to past episodes and more. This program is brought to you in part by...
Behind every Pick Tennessee Products logo is a Tennessee farmer who brings you fresh, local food grown with the kind of pride that gets handed down through generations. From now through fall, you can find Tennessee fruits and vegetables on farms and at farmers markets near you. Find your Tennessee farmers at picktnproducts.org.
What makes our state unique? Find out on the new Tennessee Channel, a statewide initiative by your public television stations. Each program is created in Tennessee, about Tennessee, and broadcast in Tennessee.
The Tennessee Channel, Saturdays 6 to 10 p.m. Eastern and Sundays 2 to 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on your public television station.
Funding for this program is provided in part by the United States Department of Agriculture, providing leadership on food, agriculture, natural resources, and related issues based on sound public policy and efficient management.